Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button down below to become a part of my family. Today's video is going to be kind of just like a sit down and let me chat with you for a second. I've had a lot of exciting things going on my channel and in my life lately, and I've been sharing them with you guys, but I never really took a moment to sit down and tell you like exactly what was going on. And kind of like the behind the scenes process, I was just like, hey, we eloped, and then that was it. Up to this point, I had been planning my wedding, kind of taking you guys and showing you guys the process with my asking my bridesmaids to be in my wedding and whatever else I have in my wedding playlist. I'll link it up here if you've missed any of those. But from the videos that I've shown you guys, we flew off to Seattle and took my wedding dress and flowers, and David had a suit. And we met up with a photographer and videographer, and we set our vows on top of a mountain. I just kind of started putting these videos out there. I posted a photo on my Instagram and was like, look what we did, but I never really explained it. So I'm sitting down today. I posted in the community section on YouTube, plus in my recent videos about like the getting ready for my elopement with me. It'll be up here. And then on my Instagram, if you guys had any questions to ask me, because I wanted to sit down and do a Q&A. So I have a list of questions here to go over. A lot of them that I have written down on the notes on my phone are from people that have that actually know me in real life, that I just didn't tell this to. Their friends that we've invited to our actual wedding, that we just never mentioned this to, or people we don't talk to on a daily basis that just text us and was like, hey, what's going on? So a lot of that I have here, and then I also asked you guys to ask me questions, and then I'll go to that in a second. Okay, so the first one, are we actually married? No, not legally. The next question is why both? So we're not legally married. We have a wedding planned in January of 2020. That is going to be in a Catholic church with the full-blown ceremony and reception and bridal party and all of that. But it's always been my dream to do a mountaintop elopement in the middle of a gorgeous location with just David and I. And so when we started talking and planning our wedding, I was like, this is what I really want to do. And he was like, well, I went through all these classes to become Catholic because we both converted to Catholicism. I will go back to that in a second. I had a lot of people ask me about that. And so he was like, I did all these classes. I want to get married in a church. I want to have the big day, have a reception with all of my friends and family. And I was like, I completely understand. So we were like, why should we have to choose when we can do both? So I had two dresses, one for June and one for January. And then we hired a photographer and videographer out there, and we just made the whole thing happen. We wanted to do handwritten vows to one another. And so we read our vows on top of the mountain, and we like to joke now that we're not legally married, but we're morally married, and he's my half husband and I'm his half wife because we're not all the way there, but you know. So we just decided to do both. It'll be fun. I'm also excited for January, but this was what I was more looking forward to. Choosing the photographer, videographer, and the location. I followed my photographer on Instagram for a long time. I reached out to quite a few different photographers before I actually reached out to her, but she was just within our budget. She was phenomenal. I loved her presence on Instagram. Her name's Adrienne Washburn if you want to check her out. The videographer, I hunted high and low for videographer I liked. I wanted someone who would just candidly capture the day. I didn't want someone who was like, oh, we have to be structured, or I want you to do this or whatever. And I searched forever to find someone I liked, and I ended up finding Tess Films on Instagram. I freaking love her work. I cannot wait to see the video. While I'm filming this, I still haven't seen anything, and I put out the get ready with me elopement video for you guys today, and people are commenting. They're like, wow, I can't wait to see it. And I'm just like, fam, me too, because I haven't seen anything yet. I've got no teasers for video or photo yet, and I'm like, ah! But anyway, so that's how I chose them, was through Instagram and then reaching out to them through their website. For location, a lot of people are like, you had a wonderful vacation at Mount Rainier before, or a wonderful experience in Washington. I'd never been there. David had never been there. When I reached out to our photographer, I was like, I don't care where we go. I don't care when we go. If you have bucket list photo locations, send them to me. We'll go over them and, you know, we'll choose something from that. And she was like, okay. She sent me a list, and the first one was Mount Rainier, and I had looked at it. I looked over pictures I saw online, the scenery. I know it sounds weird, but my big thing that I was looking for were what the trees looked like, and I didn't want anything close to what the Smoky Mountains look like. For those who are also new here, my mom passed away after going hiking in the Smoky Mountains. She got lost in a trail. I don't want to go into that. I've already done a bunch of videos about that, and I just did not want it. We booked the elopement stuff like 2 weeks after we got back from all of that, so I did not want anything that would remind me of that. I don't like going into the woods anymore, so I didn't want anything similar to that type of scenery. I want to say vegetation, but I don't think that's the word. So Mount Rainier, I loved the pine trees, I loved the wildflower fields, the lakes, gorgeous, perfect for us. We said, all right, let's do it, and we booked everything. The dress, a lot of people have asked me where the dress came from. I went shopping with my aunt down in Florida. We got the dress in Florida it was a place where you just buy stuff straight off the rack. You don't order it. It's like, these are the dresses we have in your size, and that's all you get to try on. So we had gone through so many different stores. I had shopped all around Cincinnati, Louisville, and Orlando, and I ended up finding it in Orlando. Jewelry. I wore this necklace. My aunt from Florida also helped me design this. It's a replica or like a remake of a necklace my mom wore all the time. Obviously, I have my engagement ring, and then I have another little band on here. We've decided that I have my engagement ring and I have a band for the elopement, and we're adding another band for our actual wedding, so I can just have a little stack. We also have a real like white gold wedding ring for David to wear in January, but he got a little silicone ring that I got for him. When we were also in the Smoky Mountains with the search for my mom, I had just gotten up early in the morning to go down there, and I had my silicone ring on from when I was sleeping, forgot my actual ring. When David came down a few days later, he brought my actual ring, so I had my ring on and then also my silicone ring, and he really liked wearing it on his pinky finger. I don't know why, but it was super cute. And so he just kept saying, well, I wish I had an engagement ring. I wish I had a silicone ring. This is so fun. And so when it came down to stuff for our elopement, we agreed that he wasn't going to wear his actual wedding band until the wedding. So I ordered him a silicone ring in his favorite colors, which are black and red, with a little mountain engraving on it, just so he would have something from like that day and that moment, you know, because he wanted to wear a ring too. So I surprised him with a silicone ring. That's kind of the meaning behind that. Flowers. I kind of talked about this in my get ready video with me, but I ordered flowers from a local florist to where I live. They were like silk flowers, but I got them back, didn't like them, so I kind of cut some out and then redid it myself. And then same with my flower crown. I basically completely reworked everything on my flower crown because I did not like it before, which is like a horrible thing to do, but I'm not one to complain, so I just, if I can fix it, I can fix it. Shoes, I wore Keds with little bicycles on them. Cute. Oh, my bracelet. I wore my mom's bracelet. I just found it before, and then my aunts took me to get it cleaned before we went. Earrings, I got earrings from like JCPenney or something the week before we left. And then I did slide a little dime in my bouquet. Doing my hair and makeup, I did not know how to do hair and makeup, but my friends gave me lessons, and so I learned how to do my makeup for it, and I did my own hair. That's all in the get ready with me. I did my own nails. I have a like SNS kit, so I had SNS nails for that. I also got eyelash extensions for it. Totally 100% recommend getting eyelash extensions. If you are on the fence, absolutely do it. I freaking love them. I still have some of them on. They are starting to fall out, but I love eyelash extensions. So the photos and videos that we're going to get back, I think we are going to share those on Hold on. I won't be able to wait that long. I think we're going to display them around our actual reception in January, like pictures of us on the mountain, and then maybe play the video of our vows during the reception. I'm not sure about that yet, but I think that's my plan. We wrote our vows the night before and then just read them to one another out of a notebook. Nice and simple. The weather. A lot of people messaged me and was like, was it cold? Did you freeze up there? It was June. It was about in the 60s. My dress was like basically kind of like this. So it like didn't cover a lot. And so I was not actually cold. How far did we hike? We basically got out of the car, walked 400 yards, put all of our stuff down. They started miking David up, and I changed into my dress right there in the middle of this field. Super fun. It was not cold. but there was snow on the ground in some places. So it's kind of like when it snows really hard and you have like a foot of snow, and then it starts to get warmer and warmer, and it's like 60 degrees and you still have piles of snow, but it's not cold out. And so that was it. I did have a blanket to wrap around me if I got cold. I didn't need it. So yeah, that's that. Those are all the questions I was asked about in person, and I can kind of get into what everyone else asked me now. So the first question that someone asked was, what happened to getting married in September, like you mentioned before? First of all, you are a very loyal subscriber. I appreciate you so much. I don't even remember the last time I mentioned getting married in September, but I love that you remember that. And you follow me on Instagram, which is great. So what happened to getting married in September? For those of you who haven't been around since the beginning, I kept saying all last summer before David proposed, I was like, I know an engagement is coming and I want it to be faster so we can get married on September 28th of 2019. There was a song that I wanted to have our first dance beat, and that was September 28th, had the day in there, whatever. I wanted that, but that was not practical because at the time I was in PT school and I was not about to go to class Friday morning, have my wedding Saturday, and be back in school on Monday. Like, no thank you. So we had talked about it and we got engaged on time, but we kept throwing around different dates, and so since it couldn't be September, it was going to be August because I had a break for school, and then it was going to be May of 2020 because I had another break for school, and I was like, that is crazy, no thank you, too long. So we ended up settling in the middle for January because I was also on a break for school. Now I'm not in school. There was never really a wedding date set in September. I just wanted the song. That would have been my dream. If I would have known that I would be out of school, that would be one thing. But another thing about the September 28th date is that that does fall right in the week that we were down in North Carolina because my mom went missing. So I don't think I would ever be able to have a wedding that weekend anyway, because I wouldn't want that weekend anymore, if that makes sense. Someone asked, why should I elope? Why elope? You should elope because you want a day that's focused on you two and your love without worrying about everyone else's opinions. I have so many people trying to give me their unnecessary opinions about my January wedding, who to invite, where I should have it, what I should do, who should be in my wedding, what my color should be, how I should do my invitations, all of that. I don't like being told what to do. I liked going out to the mountains and eloping because it was all whatever David and I wanted to do. We could decide on our own. No one else was invited, and no one else's opinion really mattered. So you should elope if you want just a fun day of like hiking and beautiful scenery and fun with a photographer and videographer. If you are struggling to find a photographer, hit me up because I would freaking love to capture someone's elopement. But yeah, you should absolutely elope if you want a day focused on just you two. Alright, I actually had several people ask me this question. I think it's going to be my last question because this video is getting so long. Why did you both convert to Catholicism instead of using one of the religions you guys were already a part of? And then someone else asked, why did you guys decide to convert to Catholicism and get married in a Catholic church? So both of those are really good questions. Oh, sorry, my lighting. Both of those are really, really, really great questions, and I never even thought to explain that before. So when I was younger, my parents did take me to a Catholic church. I went through and got baptized, but by the time it was time for me to get my first communion, my parents were getting a divorce. It was like, that's like a no-no thing to do in the Catholic church, so we stopped going to church. But when I got into high school, my mom really wanted to send us to a Catholic high school. She was not Catholic at the time, but the best high school in our area to go through to was Catholic. It was a private school. It was an accelerated program, and me and my brother and sister all graduated early because of it. So going through high school and going through like weekly mass and religion class and everything like that, I learned a lot about the religion. And so at the end of my 4 years of high school, my brother, sister, mom, and I all decided to go through and like go into full communion with the Catholic Church, which is like, it's called RCIA. It's like a series of monthly classes we had to take and convert into the church. And we had our first communion and confirmation, and then my mom had first communion, confirmation, and then she was baptized also. So that was that. And then for David, he was not Catholic either. He was just like a non-denominational Christian, I guess. And after he met me and started dating me, we would like occasionally go to church together and stuff like that. And then one day he texted me and said that he signed up to go to a meeting to learn more about like the Catholic faith. And he started taking classes. It wasn't really something he ever, like I had asked him to do. I wouldn't do that. That's not my place to say anything or do anything for, but he had just told me that he wanted to go through and learn more about it. So he eventually ended up completing the process and going into full communion with the Catholic Church. So yes, we are Catholic. We're going to have a Catholic Church wedding just because both of us did have to go through months classes. And yeah, so that is why we're having a Catholic Church wedding also, but they will not let you handwrite your own vows and read them to one another. So that's why we did the elopement. This video was super long. I hope I answered a lot of your questions and kind of made the whole thing more clear. So yes, we'll have more wedding stuff in January, but this was just so fun to do. It was like my dream day and it was just so exciting. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you followed along on all of my Seattle vlogs and all of my elopement stuff for that, yeah. That is it for today. If you guys have any video requests, remember to comment them down below because I'm trying for the month of July. It's like a slower month for my photography business because it's summer and it's freaking hot here. And so I'm trying for the month of July to really like put a lot into YouTube, which is 3 videos a week. And I'm running out of ideas. So if you guys have any video ideas, please comment them down below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!